Hello everyone, it's Sergio here and welcome to part 3 of our 2021 season mod career driving as Sergio Perez here at Spain. And just a quick look at the championship here before we get into it. Lewis Hamilton leads us in second place ahead of Valtteri Bottas and Max Verstappen, who are tied for third and fourth, so nice and close there. And it's the same story for the constructors, with Mercedes only leading us in Red Bull by 8 points. So a lot on the line here this weekend in Spain. Unfortunately the pace isn't looking too great in practice here, but hopefully we can find a bit more with a couple setup changes. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get straight into qualifying. Right, so here we are jumping straight into qualifying. I'm not going to be looking at that pre-qualifying screen anymore. There's not too much to look at or talk about. But anyway, as we head down the main straight, you can see we're down in P13 and heading into turn 1. We're going to make up a few positions again, but we're only in P11 now as we head into turn 3 and holding it flat completely all the way around. You can see Hamilton's actually getting fair way away, so like I was saying before in practice, the pace not looking too good around here this weekend, although we're up in P4 now as we head into turn 5 down the third gear, getting it nice and tucked in and trying to keep it nice and stable on the exit, which we have done. You can see Verstappen's actually battling away with Hamilton for first place there as we now head through the fast left-right complex. Very easy to get the car loose in now. Not quite able to hold the car flat through there. You can see turning in a bit too early, so not getting the full amount of grip that we need through there. Now heading into the sharp left-hander here, 3/10 down on Hamilton. Now not quite able to hold it flat through and getting it nice and slowed down for the big long uphill right-hander. Getting it out on the curb, almost in the gravel there. But now just heading into this nice tight final section, this last left-right chicane, getting it slowed down second gear, using as much curb as possible. But even though we've had a really good run there, we're still only in P4, we're going to come up to the line, and that's where we're going to stay. So it's P4 for the Spanish Grand Prix. So here is a look at the qualifying results there for the Spanish Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton getting pit pole ahead of Max Verstappen by about a tenth and a half there. And then it's Valtteri Bottas in P3, followed by us in P4. So Mercedes, Red Bull, bit of a checkerboard there. And then we're followed by the two Aston Martins of Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll. And then the two McLaren side by side of Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo, followed by Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari and Fernando Alonso in the Alpine. And that rounds out the top 10.
As always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are three main things to worry about there, Crofty. Positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
Right, so here we are on the grid for the Spanish Grand Prix and having a look at the strategy. Unsurprising, one stop once again. And you can see we wanted it in very, very early here, lap 6. So yeah, it's a bit of a difference to last time where it's normally one lap difference between the two tyre compounds, but Spain is known to be pretty rough on the soft tyres, so I guess that's going to be our strategy for the day. But anyway, here we are on the grid. You can see the lights counting up, revs going up, and it's 5 lights out, and away we go for the Spanish Grand Prix. It's actually a really slow start for Hamilton there as Verstappen gets into the lead, and even Bottas is going to follow him through. Actually, we're just going to ignore how bad of a start we got as per usual, and we're going to just dive it down the inside of Lando Norris and get into P5, maybe. We go around the outside, we'll have the inside for turn 3, and we do get the position, and now we're going to have to chase down Sebastian Vettel to get back into our starting position. Vettel always seems to be there to pick up the pieces that we leave behind at the start line. So yeah, once again, I think every race so far we're going to have to get back down the inside of Vettel somewhere, or around the outside even, wherever we can, and get back into P4 as we try and chase him down now through the quick left-right here. Make sure not to lose the car this early on in the race. And you can see we're very close, so we might be able to go for a move down here. No DRS yet. Obviously, it's only lap 1, but going overtake mode and rich mix. We're going to go around the outside for the tight left-hander here. Are we going to be able to hold position just about? No contact between us, nice and clean. Leaving in just enough room there for the left-hander. That gives us the inside for the right, and we are back up into P4 now. Can we chase down Lewis Hamilton? Hamilton having a bad start there. In fact, we're going to go and have a look at the start. You can see here we're going to have a look at the perspectives of all four of us here as the lights go out. You can see Hamilton just had a really slow start, and that just allowed Verstappen to make the move straight away, and Bottas getting the toe off of Verstappen, and he's just able to get through there. In fact, Bottas even tried to have a look at Verstappen heading into turn 1. You can see now, cutting to about halfway through lap 4, we have caught up to Hamilton and Bottas. You can see Verstappen, looking at the minimap there, Verstappen has pulled away quite a fair bit from this pack, so hopefully he's able to kind of run away with it a little bit. Of course, I want to try and win this race, but we are trying to fight for the team's championship here with Red Bull, so it's important to make sure we get a good result here this time round. But now we're going to come onto the main straight, and we are going to be very close, and DRS has been enabled now. Of course, Hamilton's going to have DRS on Bottas, but we have DRS on Hamilton as well. You can see using full engine mode here, giving everything we have, and we are closing up as we head to turn 1. It's going to be a late dive to the inside there. No contact between us. Make sure we leave him enough room on the inside there for turn 2, which gives us the inside for turn 3, and we are through into 3rd place. And now can we chase down the finish man for position 2 and make it a Red Bull 1-2? We're going to have to wait and see here, but as we come through, I'm actually going to dive in this time because the dirty air was making it very difficult to close in on Bottas for the rest of that lap. So we're going to come in, see if we can pull off an undercut strategy. Hopefully don't get caught in too much traffic. It's only been 5 laps, so hopefully most of the field, if not all the field, get through and get a pretty good gap on us. You can see not too big of a hold up there in the pit lane, although you can see, having a look out on the track, there are a lot of cars still coming past, and we're right at the end of the pit lane now, and Latifi and Raikkonen only just coming through now, and no one else actually pitting this lap except for Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari, and he's actually on the hard, so interesting strategy there from the Scuderia. But now we're going to get held up behind the Alpha and the Williams, but you can see so much more grip and just so much more speed in the Red Bull than these slower back market cars, so we're easily through on Kimi Raikkonen there straight away, and now we're going to have to try and find a place through on Latifi. We're not going to be able to go for a dive into turn 5 just here. You can see going for a late apex and using all of our engine mode here to get down the inside of the Canadian in the Williams, and we are going to get through there for turn, I don't know, is that 6 or 7? I don't know if the kink is counted as a turn or not, but that is us through. And is anyone else going to come in from that front pack now? You can see Verstappen's gone past the pit lane, and so has Bottas, but it looks like Hamilton has come in there, just looking at the mini-map once again. So it's going to be interesting to see if the undercut has worked, or if getting caught behind those two cars has hindered us. And you can see there's Hamilton on the right-hand side, so we are going to get through on the Brit, but we were already through, of course, remember, but it doesn't look like we've lost too much time, unless he made some major mistake on that last lap, which I doubt he did. But either way, now you can see cutting about halfway through lap 7 here, we are behind George Russell, so getting held up a little bit there, and just not quite able to go flat through that normally flat right-hander. And we're going to have to make a similar move that we made to Sebastian Vettel there on lap 1, and we go around the outside of Russell, but Russell makes it a bit easier for us there and pulls out of it. But you can see Verstappen in this lap now, and Valtteri Bottas is in as well. It's a good stop for Verstappen there, and Bottas doesn't get held up either. So looks like they had enough of a gap to not get held up in traffic. That's something else that can be an advantage of pitting earlier. We don't get held up by any other cars coming in. But now where's Bottas going to come out? This is what we pitted early for. There is Bottas. We're going to pull over to the right-hand side and get a toe off of him as we head to turn 1. We're going to try and dive it around the outside of Valtteri, and we do get the position, get up into 2nd place, and it's a 1-2 for Red Bull now with 10 laps to go. So we're now going to have to try and see if we can close in Max Verstappen and get away from the Mercedes. But now you can see, cutting towards the end of lap 10, Bottas is pretty close to us, but we've got a pretty decent gap. You can see, not using overtake mode because I'm trying to save it for if I really happen to need it, but as we head down the straight, Bottas is really closing in, so trying to enable over mode there to try and defend, but he's going to get down the inside and he's going to send it, and he's going to have the moves easy done through turn 1, trying to hold the inside through turn 2, but he was just too far ahead, and you can see a bunch of dirty air there, making us have to slow right down, or else we're going to go off the left-hand side of the track there. But now we're going to have to try our best to see if we can close in on Bottas, but The reason I pit early in the first place was to try and get ahead, because the dirty air makes it so hard to pass around this circuit, and you can already see through every high speed corner Bottas is just able to pull a gap. So he was able to do it on us. Hopefully we're able to keep it close enough to make a move on him next time round. You can see having the back off there through the normally flat right-hander, and we do have DRS this time round, but not quite able to close in. It's a pretty small straight, so it helps in keeping close, but not really enough to go for a move unless the driver in front is either really slow or makes a big mistake. But now we're going to head into the tight section. This is where we're going to have to try and close in, because the dirty air doesn't affect us too badly through here. You can see second gear, and now shifting up to third on the exit just to make sure we don't get any wheel spin, and going up to rich mix, using all the battery, which this is kind of what we saved the battery for, but we're meant to use it as a defense instead of an overtaking method. But you can see as we come down the straight, we're barely closing in on Bottas. Only until the end of the straight we start to pull in a little bit, but nowhere near close enough for a move. But the only good news out of that is that Hamilton seems to be struggling with the same sort of thing. So at the moment, looks like we're in a little bit of a train. Hopefully we're able to get ourselves out of it, because we want a Red Bull 1-2 as it stands. Even if we do get second place, though, I should mention, with Verstappen finishing first, he's actually going to move into second place in the championship ahead of myself, and Verstappen and Hamilton will be tied on points. So if Verstappen finishes first and Hamilton finishes fourth, they're going to be equal first, and I'll be in third ahead of Bottas. But as we now head down on lap 13 towards turn 1, we are closer than we were last time. Even though we ran out of energy, we're going to send it around the outside. We're a bit further up this time, so we'll have the inside for turn 2. But now as we're forced to the outside of turn 3, there's just no grip out there, and Bottas gets the move. And actually now Hamilton trying to have a look there, but not quite able to do it. We use a bit of overtake mode, and he has to pull back in behind. So once again, we're going to be on the hunt of Bottas, but that was promising. We were closer that time round, and we're actually able to go for a move. And yeah, I'm starting to feel really into the car now. In this late stage of the race, it seems like Bottas's car is just going off a little bit. And as we now head towards the end of lap 13, at the start of lap 14, we're once again going to try and go for a move. You can see the gap there on the top left going down, down, down. We're heading into turn 1. We're going to go to the inside. We're just going to go for a big dive because I really want this move done. And Bottas pulls in behind, and we do get the move back up into P2, making it once again a Red Bull 1-2. Bottas trying to look down the inside of turn 3 there, but just cutting him off and moving off the racing line to try and break the slipstream there for a little bit. But yeah, that is the move done. Red Bull 1-2, hopefully we can hold it this time. You can see now coming to the end of lap 15, start of lap 16, not really too worried about Bottas, especially now you can see Giovinazzi retiring from the race down the left hand side, so there's a yellow flag. Bottas doesn't actually seem to care, and he just dives down the inside of turn 1. Wasn't really expecting that, so Bottas keeping us on our toes there, and Bottas actually under threat from Lewis Hamilton now as we head through turn 3, so maybe that will hurt him in the end, but we're going to have to wait and see. As you can see, cutting to the end of lap 16, so going on to the final lap now, you can see Bottas is right behind us, and Verstappen's only getting quicker. You can see 14 seconds ahead, and he just set the fastest lap as well. But final lap of the Grand Prix, you can see giving it everything I've got, but Bottas just flying past, and he's completely through before turn 1, and even Hamilton now coming through and trying to go around the outside, but we easily defend from Hamilton there through turn 1. But now, I don't know what I'm going to do about Bottas now, because we've got the dirty air again, and it took us a few laps last time to actually make the move on him. You can see as we head through turn 4, it's just the dirty air is just a bit too much there. And we're going to cut towards the end of lap 17. You can see the top right-hand corner. There is Max Verstappen coming through across the line to win the Spanish Grand Prix by a pretty fair margin there. And we're unfortunately not going to be able to get close enough to go for a move, because he's still giving it everything I've got just in case. But it is going to be Valtteri Bottas to come through in second place, and we're going to come third here at the Spanish Grand Prix.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
They've done it then. A spectacular victory here in Spain and a massive confidence boost going into the next race. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work and they should be proud of the victory they secured here.
And here we are with the race results for the Spanish Grand Prix. You can see Max Verstappen getting first place and the fastest lap of the race, ahead of Valtteri Bottas in P2, us P3 and Hamilton P4. And onto what we kind of didn't see here, Sebastian Vettel gets P5 ahead of Daniel Ricciardo in P6, which beat his teammate Lando Norris to P7, ahead of Lance Stroll, Esteban Ocon and Carlos Sainz rounding out the top 10 there. And you can see moving on to the rest of the grid, just if you're interested there, that's how the outside of the points finish. But here we can see the driver standings, and like I was saying before, Hamilton and Verstappen equal in points there, 56 points, and then us in P3 are only 5 points off, and Bottas in P4, which is the main fight there. And you can see Red Bull, we do get ahead of Mercedes, and we're only 3 points ahead there, so a big championship fight at the moment. So, good to see the course of translation going over, I guess, of Red Bull and Mercedes being the two big title fighters there, just like the real life season. But yeah, that is going to be all from us here today, guys. I really hope you did enjoy. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content from me in the future. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.